as a rap fan, I'm finally getting into EDM music, electronic music, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not that well versed. I want to explore my music knowledge as much as possible, and I recently reacted to Porter Robinson's album Nurture, and I loved it. Sound like a video game. If you want to see the reaction, you can hit the link in one of the corners of the screen. And a lot of people were telling me like, "Oh, this is great. You should listen to more of these." And a lot of people were telling me that I should listen to Daft Punk. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be listening to their very first album. Homework came out in 1997. I'm really excited because, of course, I've heard Daft Punk. I've heard the name. I've heard their big songs like, um, what is it? Stronger, Kanye sample. Obviously, I went and checked out the original. I've heard One More Time. I've heard Get Lucky. I've heard the really big songs, but a full length Daft Punk album, I've never done that. So as a rap fan, this is going to be very interesting. But before that, make sure you guys subscribe, leave a like, comment down below what other albums you guys want me to check out, your thoughts about electronic EDM music, and let's just get right into it. So the first song is uh Daft and Daft and Direct. Hey, muffled. Is he saying that song back to the tongue? Come on. That song back to the tongue. Come on. That song back to the tongue. Come on. That's what it sounds like.
The fun back to the tongue. Come on. 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 The fun.
Pretty simple. It's just a loop.
Come on. The fun back to the tongue. 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 Come on. The fun.
Okay, Daft and Direct, I'm gonna be honest, didn't really have much. It felt like an intro. It felt like it was meant to build up towards something, so maybe it leads into the next song. Nobody in chat is telling me, so I can't really say for sure. But yeah, the song it was an intro song. Like it was kind of like the start of the journey. This song, Back to the Tongue, come on. Like that was catchy, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely not a song I'd come back to. So if I had to rank that song, I don't know. It was D. Like the rhythm's cool, I guess. The the drum sounds and stuff. I'm gonna be ranking every song after, just to let you know. I have all the songs here, right? Hold on, let me make sure it has every song. Yeah, it has all the songs. So Daft and Direct, I'd give it a D just for because it didn't really add much. It wasn't really like oh wait, I didn't mean to download. Oh whoa 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 whoa. What? Yeah, it didn't really add much. So yeah, what else can I say? So let's get into the next one. WDPK 837 FM. So it's like a radio station. Why is it not playing?
Music, 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 music.
It's another short one.
Music, 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 music. WTPK 93.7, the sound of tomorrow, the music of today, brings you exclusively Daft Punk's homework.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put. Well, that was better because this just felt like it was nothing. It was just kind of like a segment, like not an instrumental, like an interlude. So I don't know. This is a weird start to an album. It's just kind of like you feel like you're in an elevator, right? And you're in an elevator, and then you get to the floor, and then it's a waiting room. So it's like, bruh, why did I take the elevator if I was just gonna be in a waiting room? Like, come on, just hurry up and start the album. All right, so that was, yeah, I would give it an F just because all it was saying, we're listening to Daft Punk's album. Like, I already did the intro for this video. I don't need an intro for the album. But let's go to Revolution 909. Atmospheric, street sounds, people. Sounds like they're waiting for like a club. Maybe the club's called Revolution 909. That's what it feels like. Okay, the police. Sounds like RoboCop. I like that loop. You know what I want to give a little bit of of my thoughts before I got into Daft Punk or like listening to this album is that with the name Daft Punk, I thought it would be a lot more like punk influence in terms of like punk rock, but maybe I know they're French, so maybe the punk is supposed to be pronounced like punk. So maybe it sounds like more like funk music, like like funky kind of inspirations, which because the drum is very like reminiscent of like disco, the Gap Band, like those genres of like artists and stuff like that. Very layered fill. There's a lot of atmosphere and stuff like that. So it doesn't give me like punk. And maybe I'm speaking too soon. Maybe it could go in that way. But right now, very funky. They love this EQ filter where it's all muddled out. They've done this a few times. You know what it also reminds me of? And maybe it's just for the context of this song, how it started off with the cops trying to shut down the party and stuff like that, the club scene, whatever. It gives me very like, have you ever heard those edits where it's like this song, but if you were in the bathroom of the club, or this song if you were in the other room trying to get some sleep while there's a party downstairs, like that kind of EQ filter, that low pass kind of effect and stuff like that. Um, I know it's just for this individual part, but it gives me that like if I had an apartment above a club and this is what I heard every single night and I couldn't go to sleep. No, that's what it feels like. Like this sounds like the point of view of the person calling the cops, telling like, "Yo, they're partying. Can you shut down this party downstairs? I can't get any sleep." Well, it's a good beat, but I can understand like, "Oh my god, I'm tired of hearing this." But it's fire. Now that person came to the party and is trying to find the owner to shut it down. Like, "Yo, where is Tom? Turn this off. I'm trying to get some sleep." What? I can't hear you. I'm turning up. Right, then a bad bitch walks in. She's like, "Are you trying to party?" That'd be lit. Then the owner's like, "Fuck it. I'm not gonna get any sleep anyway, so I might as well turn up. I need a drink. Where the drinks at?" Am, am, am. Now it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. He finally decides to go back upstairs and try to get some sleep. He's like, "Fuck, man, I'm dead. I'm dead, bro." Or maybe he's in the bathroom. Yeah, that's probably a better imagery. Now he's back out. What? 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 Oh, what's good, PvP? I'm listening to Daft Punk's Homework album. This is song number 3. This is technically the first song. That sounds familiar. Now we left the party. Now people are leaving. See, okay, that was an interesting exercise right there. I personally, if you guys haven't seen, my videos and things like that, I'm a very imaginative type of person where I like to build imagery or just create scenes in imagination of certain songs, the setting, and the events or kind of interactions that people would have this with this song or in the background, whether, wherever they're at, right? And you guys saw that I was doing this kind of like person who's living upstairs from a club and he's tired of hearing this, so he comes down to shut it down and all this kind of stuff. And while there wasn't a lot of layers, there wasn't a lot of synths. It was pretty much a drum loop with an occasional atmospheric, sounds like people and cars and things like that. So you get a sense for where this music is meant to be listened to, which is kind of sucks because I'm in my room by myself, so I don't really get to have that complete experience with the album of like listening to it in a club that plays this type of music. I'm not drunk, I'm not high, I'm not any of those things, so I'm just kind of listening to this plain and sober, which I'm sure that they know that it could be listened to like that. It doesn't have to be listened to in the club, but I'm sure the music is enhanced more by that setting. So I actually like that song. I'd give it a B right now at the moment, just for um I don't understand this reason for why it needs to be 4 minutes versus 3 minutes. I feel like I got the point, but because of my imagination, it made the song even better. But I like that, so I think that was cool. So now we're gonna get into the funk. Okay, see, remember I was talking about the funk music earlier in terms of like they're giving me more funk vibes than they are like punk vibes, which is interesting. We're back on the street again. So this is the gang leaving the party. Now we're on the streets. That's an interesting synth. It's like a wah pedal. Like a synthesizer. Ooh. Do 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 do. That sounds like Billie Jean. Hey, what? Ooh. Oh, that bass drum is crazy. Dude, I'm gonna break my neck listening to the album. I'm bopping my head so much. But exercise. Ooh. Hey, damn. Ooh. You know what this sounds like? And this is continuing based off my previous imagination from the last song, Revolution 909. This sounds like the gang who just left that party, right? They're on the streets and they're seeing some like crackheads do some like crazy shit. Like when crackheads are really fiending and they have like that crackhead strength where they're lifting a car or something crazy is going on. Like that's what it looks like. Is that you're walking down like a street, dark street. The street lights are like half broken, half working, and they're flickering, and you just see this like crackhead or this like some person going through something crazy, and you just see the wildest thing. Like he's like trying to balance a banana on his forehead and he's doing a good job, and then somebody comes and like Fruit Ninja slices it, and then now they're in a cut scene where they're like arguing about whether or not the banana should have been sliced, or I don't know where my imagination is going actually, to be honest, but it gives off that like, what the fuck am I like watching right now? What is this? And that wah pedal sound really gives it that like, it's not creepy, it's not like, it's weird, it's kind of like a hallucination kind of like feeling. It's like you don't hear that out in the streets, but you imagine that's what it would be for something that is like not something you see every day. And then the drum just hypnotizing. Drum beat. Damn. 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 Ooh. Ooh. This song lit. Hold on, I gotta like this. Oh. Oh. Now that synth right there, now the crackheads are not, they're not talking about the banana and the fruit slide. Now they're actually fighting. One crackhead got a katana, the other one is gonna use the banana peel like on some like Looney Tunes cartoon. He's gonna throw it at his feet, trying to make him slip, but it's on some Mortal Kombat goofy vibe right now. I fuck with that. That's tough. Oh, what's up, Jewel? Damn. Now they really squabbling right now. Just fist and everything going up. That's a crazy layering right there. Yeah. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, that was a crazy layer right there with the sawtooth kind of synthesizer right there. That with the wah pedal kind of synth. It really felt like two people going at it, but it was like choreography kind of fighting. It wasn't like some random stuff going on. It was really like they're professional crackheads fighting. Like that's a crazy scene. I need to, you know what I need to do eventually? I need to learn how to like listen to music out in real life because I feel like actually walking the streets of some city of like whatever city, like some random city I've never been to, and it's like nighttime and listening to this, I feel like it would really change my view about the album. I always like listening to music in places rather than my room. Like, don't get me wrong, I like listening to like to new music and stuff like that, no matter where I am. But like actually be in the streets and then seeing something going on while this is playing, it would be like a soundtrack, like I don't want to say main character syndrome, but like it really would give you that like movie cinematic feel. Alive 2000 is well worth a listen as well. It's a live album. Is that the one where that I do know a little bit about Daft Punk. Is that where they did the Coachella live performance? Because I saw somewhere where it was like they were the first one to use LED lights and stuff like that, which I don't think is true. But I do, I think I, what's it called, have seen people talk about that Coachella live performance. It's like one of Coachella's like biggest live performances. Is that the one, the thing? But let me know. That sounds crazy. Wow, wow. It was in Paris. Okay. Do you agree with the whole listening to music outside? I feel like that's a lot. I'm not tripping. Let me know if the audio is loud, because I feel like it's loud as hell on my earphones. Oh hell no, I need to listen to it louder. No offense, y'all, but way better this one. Yeah. Yeah. That was a banger. Now I know why that's called defunk. Because in my head, I want to say defuck. Like they just censored themselves. They really wanted to put fuck there. They didn't want to put funk, but it really was funky. It had like old characteristics of old sounds, like synths and like these kind of like very like I don't want to say scratchy, but they're very like distinct noises. But somehow they still like fuse really well, where you're just like bopping your head. Low key, my neck is killing me from all these head bops, but that shows you how good they are. Like this was a banger. This had to be one of the best songs on the album. And I'm saying this only 4 songs in, but that was a banger. That was 100%. I'm putting that S tier. That was a great song. Um, yeah, that was so futuristic yet like crazy at the same time. Like I like my storyline right now about like the party, the Revolution 99, and the hating ass neighbor, apartment neighbor coming to try to shut it down, but him getting involved, to the people that was partying with this guy. They leave the party to go and just walk the streets drunk as high with their brown paper bag, and they're looking at these crackheads fight with a katana and a bananas weapon choices. Like the imagery right now they're giving me, and maybe I'm just a very imaginative person, but like it is a very like it's vivid. It's super vivid imagery. So I fuck with this. This is tough as hell. Would you say Currents by Tame Impala is a great walking around at night album as well? Yo, I love Currents. Tame Impala is one of my favorite bands. Currents is my drive, like late night drive kind of album. I did a review about the album, like I think it was a year ago, and yeah, 100%. I wouldn't be surprised actually if Currents was inspired by Daft Punk. Tame Impala seems like they would love, or Tame Impala, the Kevin Parker sounds like he would love Daft Punk's music. Like the synths already, from what I'm hearing, sounds very classic. If that makes a if that makes sense. Headphones in with the volume at max. Okay, bet. So you don't mind if I blow your eardrums. All right, next song, Phoenix. Okay, compressed. What does this remind me of? Hold on. This reminds me of something. Wait, hold on. I gotta hear that again. It reminded me of a song. That sounds like Prince. It sounds like Raspberry Beret. She had a raspberry beret. Kind you find at a secondhand store. What? It's 808 machine still, obviously. Damn. Whoa. That came out of nowhere. That's a perfect. I'm so. Let me know if any rapper or producers have ever sampled that. That sounds like a perfect chopped and screwed type of song to sample. And what I was saying earlier about like my storyline in terms of the album and like the image I was creating. Nothing so far. This seems like they're just chilling at some random stop on the sidewalk and just talking while this is playing in the background. They could be in a club too, but it doesn't give me that. It kind of just gives me like street. Not I don't want to say street sounds, but like synchronized street sounds that are starting to catch a rhythm. And that's actually a fun theory I have is that, and I'm going to try to say this quickly, but a theory I have about music and why a lot of, like, why it's a thing in our culture, in human culture and human society, is because we, from caveman times, had to learn how to identify sound in the wild at nighttime because we didn't have light. So we listened, right? And when things started to repeat, right, it would make a rhythm and we'd get comfortable. We were like, okay, I know those sounds. I'm identifying them. Like, right? And we would bop along so we'd catch the rhythm. And as soon as something broke that rhythm, which it was like a leopard stepping on a branch and it was a new sound, we would be like, what the fuck? Right? That's where I think certain rhythms, like no matter what the rhythm is, no matter how weird it sounds, we'll eventually start to recognize the pattern. Therefore, we start to like become comfortable with it and we start to like it. Which I know this is kind of a weird theory to throw with this because this is a pretty good track, but it's just maybe what I was thinking of. Damn, damn, damn. I'm telling you, I'm a scientist, man. Music scientist. Or like a lab rat. Little low bass coming in. All right, man. What? Yeah. Okay. What? 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 Okay, that was Phoenix. That one was another one of those songs where you have to be in the environment to truly enjoy, or you have to be doing something like just straight listening it to. For me, as being a new listener to this electronic EDM kind of style of music, um, it does feel repetitive, which obviously is just a drum loop over and over again with some synths and some low pass effects and filters and things like that coming into play, which obviously caters to the party experience of like repetitive rhythm, kind of like losing track of time. But when you're sitting here giving a reaction, it's also very like, okay, what's my thoughts about this? Well, I feel like I'm having FOMO in the sense of like, I wish I was at a party to listen to this, not in my room by myself. Maybe, a little shorty would have been nice, but it's cool. I'm with chat right now. They're turning up. But it does feel like this could be used in the future for like people sampling and things like that. It's a very good like, let me throw things out for people so they can like use my work and make something out of it. So I think it was cool. It just didn't really do much long term wise. So I'd give Phoenix maybe like, is it better than Revolutionary 909 or is it the same? I'd probably say it'd have to be. I think it probably was the same. No, Revolutionary 9 at least had the imagery for me, like in terms of like the party and the apartment and stuff like that. This one kind of just felt like a drum loop over and over again. But cool. Track number, what is that? 6, Fresh. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the songs too. I want to know what tier you guys would put it in. Oh, now there's water, so we're like a beachside city. Or maybe like a European beachside. Interesting guitar. I don't know what instrument that is. Now the gang's turning up at the beach. Late night, super dark, no lifeguards, nothing. Just a beach under the bridge. Speaker blaring. I liked how it came in. It was a nice gradient. Whatever. Faded. I love how they had the ocean sound. It's nice. What? Damn. 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 Now we're going back into the ocean. Tide is bringing us back. That ASMR. Wow. That was dope. That was very like I love how this is stimulating my imagination because I can see that gang, that like 4 to 5 member gang of people just like roaming around the city. You know what this feels like? This feels like when you and your friends visit a new city, right? And you guys all like the group chat made it out, or it made it out the group chat, right? The trip. And you're at this random city that you've never been to, and you don't want to go back to the hotel and sleep. You want to just keep the night going. So you just go from place to place. In this place, it had a club, it had an electronic house. Maybe you're in Europe somewhere, and now that gang went to the beach and is turning up at the beach, the rocky beach. It's not really one of those sandy California beaches. It's very like industrial, gray, smoggy, but it's enough where you could feel secluded with you and your people. You bring a loud ass speaker, you plan it, and you guys are just dancing around it in a circle. You guys are just going on some tribal shit, right? Maybe you have a fire or something, and then the water with the ocean, it gives you this kind of like trance hypnotic feeling that you're just swaying with it and you forget what time it is or where you're at, or you just feel like this is a memory that you guys are all gonna hold. Like, yo, you remember when we turned up at the beach that one time? It was just on some random shit, bruh. We gotta do that again. Like, that's what it felt like. That was definitely on the same tier as Revolutionary Night. I like the songs that transport me into where like the setting and stuff like that. Even if it's my own setting, I love the songs that are doing that right now for me. So Daft Punk, you're changing my mind. Okay, track number 7, Around the World. Wait a minute. That kind of sounds familiar. Funky. This is the best beat so far. Some of the drums. In a sense. Oh, the wah pedal's back. Or the synth or whatever. I have heard this. Oh my god, I don't think I should listen to this right now. Because I'm a person, when a song gets stuck in my head, it's in my head for like 3, 4, 5 days. I remember one time there was a song I listened to. It was what was that song? A Sean Kingston, Beautiful Girl, whatever. That song was stuck in my head for so fucking long. I felt like I was going crazy in a sense. I told my mom, I was like, Mom, how do you get this song stuck out of your head? And she's like, you just gotta listen to other stuff. This is gonna be a song like that. If I remember it correctly, I don't remember where I heard it, but I've heard this before. That bass line. Oof. Jeez. Ooh. Why does that clap sound like robotic clapping? It doesn't sound like a real, like a human clap, which obviously pairs up with the whole robotic around the world kind of vocal effect, which now that I think of it, it pairs up with the. Were they wearing the helmets at this time? Did they have the helmets, or was that a thing they put on later? Because I'm not gonna lie, this song is really repetitive. I don't feel like it needs to be 4 minutes long, which maybe they'll switch it up later. But at the same time, this seems like one of those songs that like a YouTuber or somebody would make a challenge, like how many times can I listen to this song before my head explodes or something like that. This is what it sounds like because it's super repetitive. That's a Minecraft sound right there in the background. That's what it sounds like at least. The bass back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Around the what? Here's the synth. You know what this reminds me? Okay, back to my imaginative story because I'm gonna keep this going because I feel like it really fits with this album. This sounds like the gang now has left the beach, right? They're walking around, they're drunk as hell. Now they're really drunk. They're dizzy, they barely can stand on their feet, and you know what they come across? This has happened to everybody on one of those drunk nights hanging out with friends in some random city. 100%, I believe this. What they stumbled across is a playground, and one of those playgrounds has the spinning kind of circus. I don't know what those things are called, but you stand on it and they just spin you, and you're supposed to go so fast you get super dizzy. Everybody has been on those when they're drunk and then they get off and they just feel like the world is spinning. And I know I'm doing that around the world is very like obviously that's what's coming to mind because that's the lyrical intention of spinning around the world and going around the world. But it does feel like that. It feels like your whole world is spinning because you're so drunk and you're dizzy from the spinning of that little children thing, playground thing. And you guys are just laughing, watching this drunk friend of yours just stumble trying to catch his garden, but he just keeps falling and face planting. But he's laughing because he's drunk, so he doesn't really know what's going on. That's the feeling I'm getting. Ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that little. That is fire. Wow. That is gonna be stuck in my head. I hope these next few songs make me forget about this song. Cause wow, how many I don't know how many times they did around the world. It's funny because I did a challenge recently where I had to do a squat every time a rapper said an ad lib. And I feel like if I did this challenge for that song, where every time he says around the world, I have to do like some type of exercise, like run a mile, I feel like I would still be doing that many miles to this day. So yeah, that's going to be tough. But the song adds on to the story. I'm starting to catch a understanding of their song structure in terms of melody. It starts off with a fade in of usually the drum elements, whatever like certain instruments, the snare, the bass, whatever. Usually it's the bass, bass drum along with the bass. They fade it in. They start to add the melody, the harmony, kind of the synths and the guitar pedals and effects and stuff like that. Then if they do have a vocal kind of sample or loop thing, they'll add that in after. They let that beat ride for a few minutes, let you get familiar. Then when you feel like you're too familiar with it, they either add a low pass effect, so now it's super muddled and super like compressed and all these things. So now you're just like turning up to the bass. They bring back that, original part back. Then when that feels like it's getting comfortable, they take away all that stuff and they just leave you with one or two instruments, let you ride off to that. Then they bring it back. It's a very structured, kind of like never letting you get too familiar. They kind of always surprise you, but they're kind of surprising me with the same technique over and over again. So I'm hoping that they try some new things, just so it doesn't feel like the whole album feels like the same kind of structure. The whole kind of expectation over and over again. Like if you can predict it, eventually, But maybe I'm looking at it from a wrong point of view. I can admit that too. That I shouldn't try to predict what the music is going to sound like. I should just try to enjoy it. But I think that was a good song. I could see why, for somebody who's never listened to electronic music, I could see why that got on my radar because it sounds like it could be used for a lot of things. So I'll give it an A tier just because of it was catchy. It was good. It was catchy. Super catchy. So let's get into the next one. Rolling and Scratching. Is that the name of the Simpsons Tom and Jerry? Is that what they're called? Rolling and Scratching or something like that? I don't know how this adds to the story, but we'll see. It sounds like 8-bit music. Some Pokemon battle music. It's a Magnemite in the cave. I like how they tease this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. danger. What is going on? You know what this feels like? Back to my story, because I'm telling you, I'm gonna add every time to the story. So, story time. This feels like that same group, right? The one that was drunk as hell, walking through the city of whatever tourist city that they're in, right? And they're in some shady part of the city right now, right? They're trying to go into their next bar, their next club, whatever. And while they're trying to take a shortcut through an alley, they lock eyes with just the lights of the raccoon eyes. Have you ever seen that when like you shine a light at a raccoon and you can only see their eyes, but you know there's something there? It feels like that, like intense, like that, like stare down you have with that animal, and you're like, all right, is this animal gonna attack me, or are we just gonna lock in with each other? Is it gonna let me pass? Is it gonna want food? Is it gonna run away? And you're kind of just like in this limbo, kind of like Mexican standoff, kind of cowboy scene where you're just like, all right, but this is like the electronic kind of industrial version where you're like in a city in an alley and you're just like, are you gonna what are you gonna do? Like, make your move, raccoon! Like, you know, that's what it feels like. Just imagine you staring at this animal. You might carry diseases. You might have rabies. Now you're walking closer to it, thinking that it's gonna just run off if you make you stand your ground. But now the raccoon's coming towards you. You haven't met each other yet, it's so far away. It's like this. You almost met each other, you're almost there. Now you guys are right in front of each other. Or raccoon and you there. Just looking at each other's eyes. Now it's slowing down. You feel like the raccoon's not scared of you and you're not scared of the raccoon. It's your spirit animal. It's the animal of the night. Now you guys are dance off. The raccoon starts dancing, it's challenging you. That's so funny. Does the moonwalk and everything. Or the cool walk. Wow, that was cool. And you know, at the end, you know what the imagery was in my story? Was after you guys' dance off with the raccoon, right? And obviously the raccoon nods his head like you were a worthy opponent for dance off, and right? And then you guys are walking away, and one of your drunk friends in the gang says, "Bro, you should have caught it. Throw a pokeball at it." And you guys are all drunk, so obviously there's no pokeballs in real life. So you just grab a random piece of trash and you throw it at the raccoon, thinking it's a pokeball because you're drunk. The raccoon looks at you like, "Bro, we just turned up," and he just runs away. And you're like, "Damn, I couldn't catch it. I couldn't catch it. It didn't. You know the Pokeball when it vibrates 3 times, like, oh, you caught it. It didn't do that. It only ran once. But I'm gonna always remember you, raccoon." So that was, yeah, that was a weird song. The synths were so distorted, but hypnotizing. This whole album feels very like time, like I feel like I'm in a casino and there's no windows, no clocks, and I'm just like, what time is it? How long has the album been going on for? What am I listening to? So many weird things going on, so much stimulation, so much sensation. So I fuck with it. But yeah, that was cool. That was I think I made it better with my story, but it still was, it was nice. So I'll give it, what do I give it? Do I fuck with the raccoon dancing, or was it? I think it was cool. It was C. I don't think I'd listen to it again, like on some regular shit, but it did make me feel something. So yeah. All right, next track, Teachers. Oh, sounds like some '80s pops music sample.
Paul Johnson, DJ Funk, DJ Sneak, DJ Rush, Wax Master, Hyperactive, Jamin Gerald, Brian Wilson,
Ryan
George
Wilson.
Clinton, Len Lewis, Ashley Beadle, Neil Lindstrom, Kenny Doe,
Name an artist.
Louis Vega, K. Alexi, Dr. Dre is in the house, yeah. Amanda in the house, Gemini is in the house, Jeff Mills is in the house, DJ Dion, DJ Milton, DJ Slugo, DJ's on the low, Green Velvet, Joey Beltran, DJ Asp, Roy Davis, Drew Williams, DJ Tonka, DJ Skull, DJ Pierre, Mike Dillon in the house, yeah. Todd Edwards in the house, Ramen Tony in the house, CVO in the house, Luke Slater, Derek Carter, Robert Hood, Paris Mitchell, Dave Clark is in the house, Van Helden in the house, Amanda in the house, Sir John is in the house, yeah.
Okay, that was interesting. Was that like a? I'll talk about it at the end. It's not that long. I like that. That bit. That. That was done. It's a nice synth. Vocal box, whatever. That was cool. So the whole song, I pulled it up right here for you guys. What the fuck? Hold on. It seems like it's just a song bases all the influences inspired by Daft Punk, DJ Funk, Hyperactive, Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys, George Clinton from Funkadelic, which I'm not surprised, but I can see it. I 100% see the influence of Funkadelic in Parliament with that funky electronic sound, futuristic kind of feel. They have a bunch of DJs from electronic music and stuff like that. I'm not too familiar with some of them. Most of them I'm not familiar with, to be honest. Um, but it was cool. It was kind of like an homage to their teachers in a sense. So that's dope. This is their debut, if I'm not mistaken. So it being their debut, it's cool to be like, yo, let me shout out to all the people that came before me that gave me the inspiration or gave us the inspiration. My bad. As far as how this adds to my storyline about the group of gang, group of friends going around turning up to music and stuff like that, and like the city. Um, it doesn't. It doesn't really, to be honest. So this could be just like in the thought of one of their heads, just like reminiscing. Because you always have that drunk friend who wants to be like, bruh, do you remember we used to, man, you're my best friend. This is what it sounds like, that they're just like reminiscing about the things that they have similarities of like why they became friends. Like, bro, you remember when we heard DJ Dre or Dr. Dre, when we heard Brian Wilson, George Clinton, DJ Head, all these guys, that's what it sounds like. So that's cool. I like that. That was a nice track. I would say, I would say C tier. It's another song I'm never gonna check out again, but I like the message. I like the fact that they're showing, homage to their influences. Dope. All right, next track we have track number 10, High Fidelity. Okay. Interesting chop. Whoa. That reverse snare. Fuck with it. You bet not. It's only been 2 minutes. I feel like it was shorter. It's going by fast. To add to my story so far, this gives me very like they found a new club to go into, so now they're walking in. They're scoping the scene. They're kind of like familiarizing themselves with how this is different than the first club they were at, the Revolutionary 909. And this is very like not as synth focused. This is very like upbeat, kind of like more beat rhythm driven, which they all have been actually, to be honest. But this gives me very like this gives it a new scene, a new with the sample being chopped. You better do, that kind of like rhythm pattern with the sample, the vocal gives it a very like, oh, this is different. This is different. I can see how this was an influential a track. It sounds very what I've heard is like what will come out later. Not, I don't know if they pioneered it, but it does sound something. I've heard something. Man, damn, damn. They really know how to use drums. That might be their best instrument, in a sense. You better, you better, you better. You better. Break it all. Okay, that was high fidelity. It definitely was high energy. It's definitely one of those songs where the people are doing the poses, doing all those like those like dance moves that I'm not gonna do because I'm very bad at dancing. So do not expect that from me. But as far as the gang in terms of the story, yeah, they're turning up. They're just in there and they're still drunk. They're still, it's still, who knows what time it is? It could be freaking 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're just like, "Yo, this is lit. We're gonna stay here for a little bit." Um, yeah, I mean the sample was cool. But it felt like more of an instrument. Like I remember there was this thing I saw years ago where people were saying that like people use their voice like an instrument or use like people's voices like instruments, and this was a very good example of that. It did feel very instrumental wise, where it didn't even matter that I could, try to figure out what they're saying. Like you better, that's what it sounds like. Break it up. It also sounded like that too. So you could say that, but that didn't matter. It was just part of the rhythm. It was trying to be beat. It was just meant to make you groove and make you want to dance. me being a person who doesn't like dancing, obviously the most I'm doing is just like bobbing my head. I'm not gonna get up and start just break dancing and all that stuff because that's just not who I am. I don't like doing that stuff. Maybe this album can bring that out of me. Who knows? Um, but yeah, the song was cool. That one was another C tier one in terms of like good beat rhythm, but it just doesn't change much. Yeah, they do the same techniques in terms of the low pass filter, the taking away certain instruments and just letting that certain thing breathe, and the fade in, fade out, kind of things. Yeah, good techniques, very staple of them, right? I could tell it's their identifier, like how you identify the Daft Punk song. The beat rhythm feels very much like what Stewie was making fun of Brian that one time of like, oh, you go to clubs where it sounds like this, ins, 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 ins. And that's what it reminds me of. Not in a bad way, but just kind of like, oh, okay, this is the club scene I imagine, and maybe I'll go to one. I mean, I've been to one house electronic rave club thing. I didn't stay for long. I listened to like maybe two few tracks in there, and they put Underworld by Born Slippy, or is it Born Slippy by Underworld? Whichever, I forgot the name, the order. But it was it's a pretty iconic song. Where it goes lugga 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 lugga. That song. So I like that song. But yeah, interesting scene for sure. But let's get into the next track, Rock and Roll. Interesting. You think it's gonna sound rock and roll like or no? Let me know. What are you saying? I can't understand. This sounds like Charlie Brown, like when the adults talk. Like that's what it sounds like. Now the gang is in this club and there's like they're trying to talk to each other, but they're so drunk right now that they can't understand. They're like, "What are you saying?" I just hear your mouth moving, but I can't understand what you're saying. Okay. Okay. I know it is pretty. It's a build up for sure. Okay, so in my story right now, so while they can't understand each other because they're so drunk, the gang of friends, the fire alarm or some type of alarm is going off, but it's going off at the same time as the party. So everybody in the club or in the party thing just think it's part of the beat. So they're still turning up even though the alarm's going off. That's what it's giving me. It's like not a care in the world. Like they don't care that there's an alarm or whatever. They're just turning it up. What? I can't hear you. Turn it up. It's funny because that alarm also sounds like feedback of when you try to plug in your guitar into an amp, and the that wah kind of thing also sounds like when you have distortion and like a fuzz pedal on your like guitar pedal and it's on, and you move your hands up and down the fretboard on the string. It has that like metallic stringy kind of wiping noise, like you're wiping something. So that's interesting. Now I understand why they call it rock and roll, because it has those elements. They're not automatically rock and roll you think of, but if you think about it for a second, it does. This song is really long. Okay, as I say that, something's changing. Never mind. Okay, that is getting on my nerves. That is annoying me right now. I'm getting tired of the. I thought things would change. I thought they would actually start playing some chords and stuff like that. But this, it's just kind of like, yo, like I don't know how much more I can listen to this, because god damn, like what were they thinking on this one? Like I can't even. Like maybe if I was in a club and I was so drunk, like in my story, like the group of friends that are like listen, like this album is playing while they're going through their trip and stuff like that, their night trip of going through clubs and stuff. This is like killing my buzz. Lower it right now because you're gonna freaking give me a hearing problem. Finally, a different rhythm. Yeah, just bring this up to them and be like, yo, you think this is a banger? This is a good song to you? Explain this. What the hell? Why did just random stuff? Okay, that song couldn't have been any longer. I wish it was shorter. Jesus Christ. The drum rhythm was the best part. It's done, thank God. Yeah, I know that was a tough listen for sure. I have no idea why they came up with the song. I would love for any Daft Punk fans in the comments to let me know when I post this video because I have no idea. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It's just a lot of weirdness. Maybe this was a song, like rock and roll was a song to show how much they don't like rock and roll music. Maybe that's what it was for. Because at this point, I have no idea. They just got some random sounds and like, yo, let's make a song out of this. Like, yeah, that might be an F tier actually, because that will never, I will never listen to that song again. 100%. I can assure you. Next we have Oh Yeah, Kool-Aid Man.
Oh yeah. 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 Everybody just screaming on the deck. Everybody just screaming on the deck. Everybody just screaming on the deck. Everybody just oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like when you're in a club or like remember the group of friends, right? In my imagination story of this album, the group of friends are in the club, the same club that was just going on with the alarm and the rock and roll song. Now they're listening to the song the DJ's playing, but they don't know any of the words. They only know the words that the crowd knows, which is the oh yeah. And that's the only part they like could recognize. So they just hear that, oh yeah, that's why it's so clearly understandable. And then the other part just sounds very choppy and distorted because they're drunk and they don't really know. And they're at the bar, they're like, yo, this is the song that we go to the bar to get drinks. Like, we don't know this song, so there's no point in us being on the dance floor. We'll just be at the bar, get our drinks, and watch these people who know the song turn up. Like, that's what it sounds like. If you've ever had that feeling, you know what it is. It's like, yo, let's go get a drink. We don't know this song. Or we don't like it, whatever. But it sounds electronic for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody just screaming on the deck. Everybody just screaming on the deck. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, that was Oh Yeah. It was cool. Didn't really seem like it. It felt like an interlude in a weird way, where it wasn't long like the other songs, but it also didn't really bring much to the Daft Punk experience in terms of like something new. You could maybe argument the chopping, the drums, and the pattern was a little bit awkward or weird signature time or something compared to the other ones, which felt very like hypnotic and rhythmic, very funky, disco-y kind of like influence versus this one felt very experimental. But yeah, I mean as far as my story goes with the group of gang, the Daft Punk, the punks, um yeah, it was something. It was something. I say it was maybe D tier just because it didn't really do much for me. Um, but yeah, interesting. Next song, track number 13, "Burning." Somebody got an STD? Who's burning? Ooh, I like the build of this one. Okay, you know how I mentioned the whole STD burning thing in the beginning? I know I'm pausing a lot, but fuck it. You guys are watching my reaction. I don't care. You know when I said the STD thing, this sounds like somebody like zipping up their zipper after they just got done fucking in the bathroom of the club. That's funny. Now they're all like turning happy they just got some punani. What? That was cool. They sped up the zipper. Let's make it sound like a laser. Now you're in casino. You just got the jackpot. So my story about the one of the friends, one of the members of the gang that went to go, fuck around in the bathroom with, this is the casino sound of taking the gamble of doing that in the bathroom with no rubber. That's the risk you take. And whether or not you're going to be burning tomorrow is going to be, that's the gamble you're taking. I'm sorry I made this imagery so weird, but that's just what's coming to mind. It's a reaction, Oh. This is remind me of Madagascar. I like it big. I like it chunky. You know that song, Moto Moto, the hippo? That's what it sounds like. Lasers. Round 2. Get the jackpot. Round 3. Man, 3 rounds in the bathroom of the club, that's crazy. Round 4 or sounds like it. Hey, seems like he or they did they thing. 4 rounds in the bathroom of the club. That's what the song sounds like. Um, what interesting choicing. Obviously, the zipper turning into like a laser sound to the casino kind of like arpeggio kind of thing being repeated, but it being kind of like a vibe thing, not necessarily like a track that's going, but then the drum beat is like obviously the rhythm. So it's cool that they named it Burning. Obviously, my mind is in a different place, in a weird place, but I'm thinking this as a story, right? And that's just where the story of the gang of friends that are listening to Daft Punk while they're turning up sounds like. This sounds like the night that they're having. Burning was cool. I liked it. Pause. But yeah, B tier for sure. I think that was a good track. That was interesting. Um, Now we're into Indo Silver Club. So they go to a new club, or maybe that's the name of this club that they've been at the whole time. Or I think it's a new one. They're kind of like bar hopping. They're just or club hopping, I guess. Indo. Track, whatever, 14, 15, I don't know. Lost track. It sounds reversed, but it also doesn't. Like the guitar stuff in the background. Okay, this so far sounds very EDM in terms of like club scene. This might be one of the most club ones out of all the ones I've heard so far. Yeah, it the only imagery I get from my story that I'm like making as this album goes, this one sounds like they just came to a new club and they kind of all went their separate ways and are all like dancing with other people, whether it's like a woman they find attractive, a group of people that just welcome them into a circle. One person went to like a table and is turning up at the table, which they didn't have tables at the time of this album, but that's just what it seems like nowadays, from my references. One person is turning up at the bar, trying to get drunk again. Like, ah, damn, you don't ever put the cup down, right? And this one is just one of those that just gets people moving. A lot of layers. It's the bartender shaking the ice. Somebody making a martini. Shaken, not stirred. What if this is a real name of a real club? I'm gonna look it up. Couldn't find anything. Yeah, that one was a cool little club house. I don't know what kind of genre it's considered. EDM, I guess, electronic track. Yeah, I mean, not my favorite, just because this seems like very like dance focused. It doesn't really give off my style of things I'm into. Don't get me wrong, I like the rhythm and stuff. I just if you're gonna have this type of repetitive rhythm, I need a little bit singing, a little bit of vocal, lyrical stimulation, something other than just the filters and stuff like that, like I said on the previous songs. But catchy. It's catchy for sure. 100% catchy. As far as how my story adds on to this, they're just at the club. They're just all separated. They're still friends and they're still cool with each other. Just all doing their own thing at the same club. So at Indo Silver Club. All right, track number, what is that? 15, Alive. Make me feel alive, Daft Punk. Resurrect me. Or whatever. Resuscitate me. Pause. It's not pause, actually. What am I saying? Sounds like the whole club is in sync. Like they're all clapping or stomping their feet at the same time. That's cool. You know, it's funny in my story. You guys probably weren't here, but anyways, regardless, this sounds like the raccoon from earlier that you met in the alley that was like mad that you threw the trash trying to catch it like a Pokemon is now back in the club, but he's like a magical like half raccoon, half man creature, right? Um, a rack man or something like that. And now he's in the club and he's staring at at all the group, all the gang of group of friends. Look at the door and they all recognize the raccoon. They're like, "Oh my god, the raccoon's back!" And he locks in eyes with all of you. He notices all of you, and he's like, "Oh." And now it's like the suspense. The lights are flickering black and white with the music turning up, but you guys are like, what's gonna happen now? What's like, is he gonna turn up with us? Like, I didn't know he was a magical creature. It's like, oh, we're gonna have to squabble. We're gonna have to jump this raccoon man. Like, you guys are all walking towards the center of the dance floor. Thought that shit was sweet. I'm raccoon. I'm not gonna say it. I don't want people to clip that, but. You can catch me like a Pokemon. I'm not no Pokemon. good, man? All right, that was track 15, Alive. Um, yeah, this sounds like just suspense. It just feels like build up. I guess you could see people turning up to this. I could see it with the lights flickering, black, like, white light kind of just flashing, not schizophrenic. What is it called? Um, what is it called when it's like constantly flashing? It's not seizure. It's like I forgot the name of the term. Um, but yeah, I can see that. I can see Raccoon Man and the group of friends now at the center of the dance floor. It's just like, is this going to be another dance battle like they had before, or is this going to be an actual fight? What's going to happen? Is Raccoon mad about what happened earlier? I like that. I like the suspense of that one. That felt very cinematic. It felt like very like thematic. It just felt like there was a story behind that one. Now we're on to the last track, track number 16, Funk Ad. What a journey this has been um for Daft Punk. Track number what the hell? What's going on? Oh. Funk Ad, track number 16, last song. I don't speak Spanish, my guy, so I have no idea what you just wrote. Sounds like the funk in reverse. Okay, that was the ending track. It just felt like a reverse of the big defunct. Just felt like a reversal. How this adds to my story is that the group of friends thought the raccoon man was looking at them, and as soon as they got to the dance floor, it just did this. They just walked past each other. Like they didn't recognize each other, if they didn't know who they were. In reality, the raccoon man was just a guy who was like had face paint. He had black and white face paint, so they thought it was the raccoon because they're so drunk and stuff like that. And then they were like, "Oh, dude, it's time to go home. We're so drunk right now. We thought there was a magical creature." This was a fun night, and that's how they ended the night with Daft Punk's Homework. And what a crazy album this was. It had highs and lows, it had techniques, it had styles that were very um key to them. It felt very stylistic in terms of like choosing of filters, vocal effects, soundscapes, textures, and all this stuff. And oh, I need to rank the funk ad. It's F tier just because it's just an outro. It doesn't really do much. It's not like a song that you listen to. But I felt the album was I thought it was really good actually. It opens my eyes, and it helps that I have a good imagination for albums like this where it's a lot of instrumentals, a lot of like beat driven kind of things. It's not really meant to be broken down in this kind of environment, like in a club, party environment, car, turning up with people, friends and stuff like that environment. This album is way more suited for that versus what I'm doing right now, reacting to it on stream. But that doesn't defeat the purpose. It doesn't defeat its potential, right? And I could see why this is deemed a really great album and why it would start the career for Daft Punk and how crazy it was for everybody, right? Phoenix, nice. Yeah, okay, you like the song Phoenix? Yeah, Phoenix was cool. So I would say Daft Punk has, I don't want to say earned my respect because I've always respected them from the stuff I've heard from them, but it's definitely opened my eyes to electronic music. And I think everybody who was in the comments telling me to listen to Daft Punk, telling me that you need to listen to their music. And yeah, I'm definitely going to continue listening to their music. I'm going to check out Discovery. And what was the name of the other album? I think it was called Random. What was it? Random what? Random Access Memories. Okay. Oh, they did the Tron music. Oh, and there's another one, Human After All. So they have 4 albums, and these are just like other stuff. But yeah, yeah, this is dope. I liked it. Really cool. I can see now why they have robotic mask. Very robotic sounding, very influenced by sci-fi. It sounds like, the influences. They had a whole song talking about the influences. So I really enjoyed this album. Let me know what you guys think about this album down below. What other albums you guys want me to check out on my electronic music journey, and what other albums you guys want me to check out in general. It doesn't have to be electronic, but that's just what I've been into recently. I've been checking out. So comment that down below. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers, and come out and check out my Twitch live streams. I do them every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So make sure you guys tune in to see what's going on and what's new in my universe. So come check it out. But thank you guys for watching.